Welcome to Hanger 51. Another new episode. More fun in store. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Let's see who's going to be in the room tonight. Let's see if Shadow can get back on track here. He's been missing out on being the first one in. Right there he is. What's up, Shadow? Good to see you, Eric. How you doing, man? I was hoping you'd be first in the room. You've been missing out on that, buddy. They've been beating you to the punchline. All right. Morning. Well, I guess that is for you, Mike. What time is it there? Is it like 2 o'clock in the morning or something there? Crappity crap crapping. All right. So I guess let's start off with 3D printing because I bought a bunch of different brand Pet G stuff because I've been trying to print. Well, I'll show you what I've been printing. This really, I love this green. A buddy of mine has a Challenger this color green, so I tried to print him a car. Okay, and this filament's just not very good. The brand is Northern. What's it called? Oh, Next Shapes. Never used this filament before. Don't think I'll ever buy it again. It's not doing a very good job. So, but I like the color. So what I printed was first thing I printed was a Dodge Challenger, but this is the I would say this is probably the 08, 10 version. So it had the original hood that had the carbon fiber decal on the raised portion here, which you can't really see. Let me get this so I can show you here. Well, you can kind of see it there. Yeah, you see the raised part of the hood. There we go. Yeah, see that was carbon fiber. It was an orange car with carbon fiber black on that raised section, and no spoiler on the trunk. It had the original taillights, which was the one big long taillight, which I kind of liked actually, but no spoiler. Other than that, it's the same car. The grill, they didn't do a great job on the grill work because they've only got the inner lights defined, not the outer corner, the outer headlights. So then I found a bit, basically I've got this file, the one with this car, which has got the hood scoop and the spoiler on the back and the dual tail lights. This file is a pretty good file. This hood's pretty smooth. They come out really good. That looks pretty good. So, but this filament with that file, of course, I made it bigger, but that's got nothing to do with the quality of the print. This one did not come out so great. So if you look at the hood, you see all the bubbles and bumps, and it's just not smooth. It's got a lot of defects in it, and the sides of the car look good. They're pretty smooth. I mean, those horizontal lines are in it, but they look pretty good. But yeah, so I'm about to try another. The printer jammed again with this particular filament, and what it does when it jams, if I didn't lose that little piece I just took out of it. I think I probably knocked it on the floor. I don't know if I can find it. Let me look real quick. Kind of need a flashlight. Do I have a flashlight laying up here? No. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it down there. Anyways, a little piece of filament with a hook on the end of it. And what happened? Oh, here it is. So what happens is this gets caught in the gears, and creates a jam. Um, and yeah, so I had to dig that out of it and put it back together, but it's still jammed. So there must be a piece of filament down inside the warming chamber. So I'll have to take it back apart and look at that. But anyway, yeah, and then the back window too is all buggered up too. It's got all these. Let me get a light there. Yeah, see all the. Now that stuff will sand out, so it's not a total loss. The back looks good. The tail lights are nice and crisp. The where the license plate goes, even the exhaust tips are pretty good. So the back looks good. The sides look pretty good. I mean, those horizontal lines I can sand out, but it's just the top surfaces are all boogered up. It's just like it's almost like it's bubbling. The windshield's got it. Some on the roof, but you can't see the sunroof outline on the roof there. And then the hood is all kind of boogered up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. The headlights are, you got both headlights now, not just the single. And the big problem I'm having is the support. It won't, to get a better print, I want to use the tree support, and the tree support in this filament doesn't work. It just doesn't want to do it. I can show you what's on the build plate right now where it failed again and jammed the printer. This it's trying to do trees, and what I mean by trees is instead of this, I can show you an example. Instead of this zigzag filament, support, it's trying to do the round tree support. Where it's a trunk and then it branches out into smaller trunks and then limbs. And so here it's trying to do that. You can see all the circles, going up and down here, and and it's trying to, and I don't know what's going on, but it just decides it's going to stop in the middle of and I don't know why it's doing all of this. The bottom of the car is supposed to be sitting on the plate, so we don't need support here. It should just be printing the bottom of the car, because the bottom of the car is flat right there. So I don't know why it's doing that either. So I'm having some issues with that. And now the printer's still jammed. I just cleaned the nozzle to put it back together, but I didn't look down inside because usually that's not the issue. It's usually a piece of filament stuck in the top, and there was, and I got that out. But and I cleared the gears and everything was working, and I put it together, and it won't feed. It's just clicking, which is the gears trying to force the filament down, and they're chipping at it. So anyway. GQ, what's up? I got a little work to do, 3D printing. Yeah. Oh, I guess you want me to print you something. Yeah, I've been really busy too. Yeah, Eric, I know. The Michelle, Jeff and Michelle have been on the show. I've got her other car here, and then the other car broke down. Well, it didn't really broke down. The air stopped working, and I don't know why. I haven't figured out what's wrong with it yet. And so I was going to let her drive this car. Well, this one won't start now. I think the fuel pumps got stuck from sitting. So I got to fix that. And meanwhile, my buddy, his Charger, Scat Cat Charger, it's got the 6.4 Hemi in it, blew a water pump. So I had to spend 3 days. They've got this silly ass system. The pump itself is all right. So the Impella SS has 6 bolts that hold the water pump on. That's it, 6 bolts. This one's got 14. 14 bolts to hold this on, and then there's this bypass tube. I guess it's some kind of steel tube that's bent and goes down into the top of the water pump. And there's no gasket on it. There's no seal on it. It's just a metal tube that slides into an aluminum housing. Now, how is that? And then it bolts down, but there's no seat or anything. So how is that not going to leak, right? I mean, it's just like, I don't, So, and obviously it was leaking. The last guy that put a pump in this car, it's an older car. It's a 2018. It's got a lot of miles on it. He bought it used. Whoever worked on it last time, it must have had a similar problem because he couldn't get stopped leaking either. So there's all this, like, some kind of sealant. I don't know what he used. I tried several different things. It didn't really work. You know what finally worked? You're gonna love this. Gorilla Glue. That's what I finally put that pipe in with Gorilla Glue, and that stopped the leak. So we finally got the car buttoned up. He came and he got it today and took it home. He's super happy. And but yeah, so I got that one fixed. I still got to get Michelle's car started. I don't know what's wrong with it. Haven't had a chance to look at it. Um, so so that's so I've been working on that, and I don't think I didn't do much to the Pontiac. I don't think I did put new headlights in the Pontiac. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I did order some headlights for it. I put those in, and they're working really good. I really like the headlights. Um, the ones that were in it were just all tore up. They were old. They were delaminating on the face, so they looked terrible. There was water in them because the seals were all messed up because the guy put these high temperature LED lights in it that had little fans on each light to try to keep them cool, and that just melted the housing inside, which created the leak. So moisture got in there. So the inside of the headlights are full of water all the time, and I just got tired of dealing with that, so I bought new headlights. And the new ones are doing great. Real happy with those. And I put LEDs in those too. It's a projector lens style headlight, and it's supposed to use LEDs, so that's what I put in it. It came with all the lights except the LED headlights. The high beam regular, regular halogen high beams were in it. The turn signals were in it. There's little like clearance lights in them that are kind of neat. All those lights were in it. Just the only one I had to put in it, I had to buy a set of LEDs to put in the projector lenses, and I did that, and they work fantastic. Super bright at night. You can see where I'm going now. Um, so Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat products for you. The other stuff I've been working on the car, I haven't had too much trouble with. I mean, as far as design wise, I mean, I like working on the car. I haven't had to do a lot to it, but the little bit I have done to it, I haven't had anything to really complain about. There was one thing I was working on that I was having trouble with. I forget what it was at the moment on my car. Um, well, it was a stuck O2 sensor, but that's got nothing to do with their design. What I had, literally what I had to do to fix it, taking it all apart, taking the header off and everything, really wasn't too bad. I've worked on worse cars. Basically, any front wheel drive car, way worse to work on than that. So, it's DGI. Yeah, that's what I tried first was the gasket shellac shadow. I think if I was trying to hurry, so I put it on and then I immediately tested it for leaks, and it didn't get the shellac time to cure, dry up, kind of harden up. I think that probably would have worked, but it didn't work the first time around, and I was really rushing trying to get this back to him the same day, and it ended up taking 3 days because I couldn't stop the leak. So, but yeah, if I do it again, I'm gonna take my time. I'll use the gasket shellac stuff like I was really expecting to work, and to let it dry thoroughly before I test it, and I think it will work. But the Gorilla Glue ended up working, and I'm sure I'm not gonna have any trouble if I have to change this pump again someday. Unbolting the pump and then just kind of twisting it a little bit will probably break the glue loose, and then I can be able to take it apart. Cleaning up the excess glue might be a pain, but we'll deal with that when we get to there if that happens. I have a feeling he's gonna probably trade this car in. It was an impulse buy. This car's it's been wrecked bad, and he's having it runs good. There's nothing wrong with the motor, but the tranny seems to be okay too. But the body work, nothing lines up. Can't get anything to fit correctly. The doors don't close right. One door is the wrong color. And when they painted that door, it's a darker yellow than the rest of the car. Um, the front bumper cover doesn't fit on the right fender. The left fender's fine, but the right fender doesn't fit right. So there's all kinds of minor cosmetic. I showed him the core support underneath is all dented up really bad. I don't know what that's from. Um, just showing him some stuff wrong with the car that that he already knew, but I was pointing out he didn't know about the bottom of the car, but he hadn't been under it. So I got him under it today and showed him that. So so I don't know. He might trade this one off and get another one, a better one. What's this DJI thing, Mike? It's DJI's '04, but people moaning up because you can go as high as you like, danger above 400 feet or 700 at a certain place, but you could definitely go above. Um, yeah, Eric, all the engineers are losing their minds. They're these. I don't know where these guys went to engineering school. The guys that are building cars today, but all of these cars have got major problems, and they're all engineering failures. Every single one of them. Um, these engineers today, it's like the guy that built that walk bridge. I think it was in California, but I forget for sure. But the first day they opened it to pedestrians walking across it, and it collapsed. I don't know how many people it killed, but the first day. So what kind of engineering skills does this guy have that he builds a walk, a passenger bridge, a pedestrian bridge, and because a few people were walking on it, it collapsed. I just, the engineer degrees today they're handing them out like Cracker Jack prizes because these guys have no idea what they're doing. These cars are built so terrible today. I wouldn't even think of buying one. Not I wouldn't even consider it. So GM, I just read this. GM has shit canned their 5.3 and 6.2. No, so the 6.2 and 6.0. The 6.0, I think. The 5.3 and the 6.0, that valve deactivation bullshit. They did away with that completely, and they did away with both those engines. They're coming out with two brand new engines this year for 2027. 5.7 liter, all new design, all redesigned, and they promise that this motor is going to be unbreakable. They're going back to. They've got a different. I think they're building it in house this time. All those engines and the parts that were failing were all subcontracted out to another company, and they had nothing but pretty much 100% failure rate. So they're doing it in house this time, and the new engines are going to be a 5.7, which was their traditional V8 back in the day, a 350, and then they're going to do a 6. You think a 6.6, a big block? I think that's what it was going to be. And both these are brand new design engines. No, they're not reusing any old tech or anything. They're completely new. So that's what they're promising. Hopefully, uh, so we'll see what happens. Maybe GM will get back on track because they're just losing their minds and all their business to Dodge and Ford because Dodge has been making a pretty solid product and yeah. Yeah, that 864 shit. Yeah, that's gone. They got rid of that. No more of that crap. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Not that I would go buy a new car today. I would buy a new car today anyway. I don't care who's making it or how much it was. I ain't buying a new car. They're just I'll just keep my old shit. I like my old shit. It just works. It's easy to work on. Yeah. So let's see. So we got Craig Beaven in the ring. We got Chad. We got Eric EQ. Who else we got? We got Mike Bird. We got let's see who else. Anybody else here? How many we got? We're showing 10. There's only about 5 in the comments, which is okay. We got some lurkers. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't want to miss anybody if I haven't said hi to you. So yeah, for the remaining, if I haven't said hi to you, you just raise your hand so I can say hi to you. So anyway, so I got the water pump in on the Charger. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay. It's always 2. I tried to fix the printer. That didn't work. So we might work on that again because I can have the extruder out of it in about 2 minutes. So I might pull it back out and take another look at it, see what's going on there. Yeah, it's from what I understand too, a lot of the companies are not giving you a loaner or paying for a rental if your car's in the shop for a month because there's no mechanics left to work on the shit because all the mechanics are quitting. How's your situation, Craig? Has a bunch of your guys quit at the dealer you're working at? Or you don't work at a dealer, right? You work for a private garage, I believe, if I remember right. Um, yeah, because all they're doing is warranty work, and then the warranty work doesn't pay anything. So none of these guys are going to keep working. They've all quit their jobs. They're going to work as contractors, carpenters, plumbers, electricians. Can't make a living at warranty work, and that's all they're working on. Is because every car that comes in there is under warranty. Because that's all that breaks is all the new shit that's under warranty. It all breaks down. Yeah, sledgehammer's a Ford wrench. Yeah, that'd be what I'd be using on it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's where we are with cars today. You couldn't give me a new car today. And I don't know if you know this or not, guys. Some of you were lurkers too. Start next year, every brand new 2027 car will have a camera built into the dashboard pointed at your face. That's right. It's not an option. It's mandatory by the government that there will be a camera in your car pointed at your face. If you've got the car on, the camera is on. And apparently there's no way to defeat it, to deactivate it. Of course, I'm sure somebody will figure it out, but and this is for your protection, is what they're claiming. But I think it's just more facial recognition camera work to catch more criminals, So we're all suspect now. If you buy a brand new car, you're a suspect as a criminal. So we want a camera so we can verify that it's you. Okay, whatever. uh, oh, absolutely, Shadow. If they can't plug in a scan tool, they have no idea how to diagnose a problem with a car. I mean, the basic, you need 3 things to make an engine run. What are the 3 things you need to make an engine run? You ask these guys that, and they couldn't answer that question. They have no idea. Let me plug my scan tool and I'll tell you. Yeah. So you need 3 things to make an engine run, and they couldn't tell you that today if they could just save their ass. Literally, if their life depended on it, they'd all fucking die. because none of them know what that is. So yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Um, just like the engineering schools. I mean, if they're teaching these guys to be engineers and this is the shit they're coming up with, I don't know where they're coming up with this stuff, but it's the stupidest way to build a fucking engine I've ever seen, and yet that's what they're doing. So just really, really, really poor designs, really bad stuff. In my opinion, in case anybody wants to sue me, everything on this show is in my opinion. So yeah, I wouldn't give you 2 cents for any of them. Yeah, yeah, Craig, I'm glad you got out of the dealership because yeah, from what I understand now, if your car goes in for warranty work, it's going to be there a month at least because they don't have the backlog is so bad and they don't have anybody to fix the shit. So they're either depending on what it needs and what their mechanics are skilled in, they might have to send it off to another dealership without the customer even knowing that. They're just going to subcontract it out to another dealership where there's a mechanic there that knows how to fix that particular problem because this guy only knows how to do this. You know, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I can't even imagine buying a new car today. I mean, if you're buying a new car today because you're looking for reliability and a warranty, forget it. There is zero reliability in a new car today. Any of them. None of them have any reliability. Um, yeah, they're on. What do they call that? Galactic back order. Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't doubt that, Craig. Like all these new guys coming in, you know, they're not teaching them shit. They did the first thing they teach them is how to turn a scan tool on. That's job one. You know, you got to know how to turn the scan tool on, how to plug it in, where to plug it in. You know how to set the diagnostics you're looking for. Forget turning a screw or checking for spark or forget any of that. We don't need to worry about that. We'll just let the scan tool tell us what's wrong. Like you know, no shit. I called when a buddy of mine and I had a fight over his car, and I told him I wouldn't work on it anymore. He had 96 Impala SS. I called three dealerships, and two of them said that they won't even work on the car. It's too old, and they don't have a mechanic that can work on it. Now, this is a pretty basic, it's got a computer in it, but it's not that fancy of a computer. This is the first year for OBD2, and, it's not that sophisticated. So, but yeah, nope, nobody will work on it. And then on the third dealership, they have one guy who's out on sick leave right now that could possibly work on it. He used to work on those. So I don't know if he'll work on it or not. I can ask him when he gets back to work, but he's out sick right now. And I just laughed. I said, okay, all right, thanks. Thanks anyway. Yeah, yeah, I agree 100%. If I owned a fucking garage and had to tell a customer that your car's too old for us to work on it because we don't have anybody here that can work on something that old. I mean, what are these guys? Where are they taking the? If you own a '57 Chevy or a '70 GTO, or where the fuck do you take this damn thing? You know, what mechanics are they using? Because somebody will work on the old shit. I mean, there's still plenty of that shit on the road. Somebody's fixing it, but not the dealers. They nope. You know, they won't even be bothered with it. If it doesn't have a OBD2 port, we're not even going to look at it. Yep, Eric, I'm basically doing the exact same thing on my building too. Getting ready to try to hook up the electrical. Had a lot of other issues going on here that keep changing my focus. Something always crops up that's more important at the moment, so I got to put that fire out first before I can get back to that fire. And but yeah, that's where I'm at too. I want to get the wiring from my breaker panel that my air conditioning is on, and run it over to the garage. Same thing. Got to dig a trench. Run the conduit underground up to a switch, dead man switch box on the outside of the building, and then a breaker panel inside the building. I know exactly where it's going to go. It's going to go in this room, in that back corner over there, and because that'll be the easiest access to it once it's in. I don't want to put it upstairs in the main living area. Um, and I can't put it on the other side of the wall because then it's in the garage area. Um, and who God only knows what I'll have, stacked there that I won't be able to get to the panel. So in here, the only thing that could possibly be in the way will be an airplane. So if I have to move an airplane or whatever, not a big deal. As a matter of fact, I might even leave that corner open and not put an airplane over there just in case I need to get to it. But um, well, okay. To be fair, Michael, yeah, okay, turn the warning lights off, but if the problem still exists, the warning light's going to come right back on. So, you know, he hasn't fixed the car. He just reset the light, and if the problem still exists, the light's going to come right back on. So that's not a big deal. And hell, you can reset that light with a paper clip on an OBD1 car. So yeah, that's not a big, for a Timu product, it's not a big accomplishment, but whatever. Yeah. I bought four scan tools from Timu. Cheapy ones. I knew there were cheapy ones. But there was something to have in, I could put in the glove, they're little ones, and I could put it in the glove compartment of every car. And if something happens, I can at least maybe get an idea what the problem might be. And I basically do this for people at the car show. Oh, my check engine light came on the way over here. Oh, I can check that for you, and most of the time it'll tell me what the problem is. But I have a good scan tool, a real nice one. But I bought those cheapy ones from Temu because they were like, I don't know, they were like $15 or something. Um, One of them was more expensive. It was about $35, but it has the CAN software in it for the CAN stuff. I don't know that I'll ever work on a car. I don't own anything that has CAN, and nothing I own is that new. Um, but yeah, that's why I bought that one just because. I think I've been fooling with two of them, but the other two, I think, are still in their boxes somewhere here. I don't even know where they are. Oh, they might be over. I see a couple boxes over there. They might be in those boxes. So, but yeah, I bought. There were four different brands, and I just, they were super cheap, and I was like, what the fuck? Let's see what they are. Not a big deal. Wasn't expecting anything exciting over them. Um, but like I said, if you have it in the glove box, you know, if it's a simple O2 sensor, whatever, I can reset their light, turn their check engine light off. And if the problem, I tell them, listen, if the problem still exists, the light's going to come back on. So don't get too excited. It's just an O2 sensor. It's nothing to worry about. My Pontiac will turn it on and turn itself off. If you after so many starts, if the condition didn't reappear, the light turns itself off, and that's been going on with the Pontiac. And as a matter of fact, my Avalanche, since I bought it, same thing. I suspect that one's because it's a flex fuel vehicle, so I can run regular gas and E85. And I think the O2 sensor can't distinguish when I switch over. I think it confuses the O2 sensor, and that's why I get the check engine light on O2 sensor. But it goes on and off by itself. I don't have to reset it. I'll be driving along and it'll go out. And then a month later comes back on. Who knows? I always check to see if it's still the O2 sensor, and it is, but it just goes on and off randomly. Yeah, it might make people change their oil. So this guy that I worked on his car for him today, I love this guy to death. Super cool guy. He's actually the guy I bought my Super Bee from. Um, so his mechanic told him that the tranny was shot, and his mechanic was wrong. Um, so it just has a seal leak, and I haven't fixed it yet, but I'm gonna get to it. I got so many things to do, and that's not a priority right now. I got plenty of cars to drive, so we'll get to that when we get to it. But the car he replaced it with was a pretty bad deal for him. I wish he'd, and I had already told him, listen, before you buy another car, um, he had already bought this one because he replaced the Super Bee with this car before he sold me the Super Bee. And I told him from now on, make sure you call me. And then he didn't, and he had a radiator water pump, not a water pump, a radiator and a cooling fan issue. So he had to pay for a tow. He knows I have a trailer because I picked up his car with a trailer to take it home. And he paid for a tow, and he paid for them to fix the car, and they put a radiator in it and two cooling fans, and I think that's it. $1,300. And then on top of that, he had to pay for a tow. I don't know how much the tow was. And so, and I just shook my head. And he goes, yeah, I know. I should have called you. I don't want to bother you. I says, listen, bother me. So, and his wife lost her job, so he's trying to live on his benefits from the military. He served in the Navy, and he's just not making it, and he's just upside down, and he's trying to hang on, and he's really having a hard time. So I was $300 to fix the car, and he doesn't have any money. So I fixed it for him, and I said, listen, and I was teasing him because he never comes by to see me. So I said, okay, now you have to come by to see me because you owe me money. So now you have to come see me. I don't want to hear any excuses. You better get your ass over here to see. I don't care if you bring me $10. You got to come see. So he starts laughing. He says, okay, I'll come see you. So, okay, I'm going to hold you to that now. But man, before that, I've already got the car and I'm fixing the water pump. And he says, oh, dude, if it's not too much to ask, I'm sorry. I hate to ask. But, the change oil light's been on for a while now. And I haven't been able to change the oil. So if you could do an oil change on the car, I'd really appreciate it. So I did the oil change. So the water pump lube, uh, coolant flush, antifreeze, um, 2 bottles of, because Dodges take like 7 or 8 quarts of fluid, 2 bottles of Mobile One 0W40 his car takes, and in a filter. Um, and I got him an air filter too because I could get an air filter for $10 if I bought the oil and got the free air. I got a free oil filter with the oil, and for $10 I could add an air filter. So I did that. It needed an air filter, and so he owes me $300. And I said, so like I said, I was just teasing him that he has to come by now and see me. I don't care how much money you bring me. You got to bring me some money and come see me. So then he saw the wheels I put on my car, the chrome wheels that I had offered them to him, and he didn't want them. And he says, I want a set of those SRT wheels that are on the Super Bee I sold you. I said, well, I told you I bought a set of those too. I said, I got a really good deal on them. He says, yeah, but I don't have any money. Yeah, I says, yeah, I know. So he goes home, sends me a text message, says, thank you again, dude. You saved my life. I can't believe how good you are to me. Thank you. Oh, by the way, what kind of deal can you make me on those SRT wheels? So the message I sent him back was, I just sent him a message back. I said, dude, I love you to death, buddy. And that's it. I just left it at that. And he LOL back, and then he says, those wheels would look so good on my car. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but dude, you still owe me $300 for the water pump and the oil change, and now you want wheels too? I said, once you pay off the oil change, we'll talk about the wheels. I'll do the same deal for him. I'll give him the wheels, and he can make payments on it, but he's already into me for $300. I'm not going any deeper than that right now. The wheels are a luxury item. He doesn't need the wheels. He needed a water pump, and he needed an oil change. He doesn't need the wheels. So I'm not going to go there yet. It's just so funny that he asked me that, though. It's funny. I had to laugh. Now you got an oil change and a water pump, and now he wants the wheels too. Oh, Michael, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm just paying it forward. I've had people in my life that have done things for me that they didn't have to do, and so I'm just paying it forward. If I can help someone out, I'm gonna help them. And I really like this guy, and he's going through hell right now. So if I can help him, I'm gonna. So doing an oil change and a water pump job for him, not a big deal. So I was happy to do it for him, and so you're out of here, Shadow. All right, and you're probably already gone, but have a good night, man. Yeah. So I just he said he used to go to car shows with the Super Bee, but he hasn't been able to go lately because of problems at home, and so I understand. And I told him, I says, you and I are gonna have to start going to some car shows together. He says, okay. So we'll see what happens. I know he's under a lot of stress at home, and he's he just got out of the hospital, the VA again, the hospital again. They don't know what's wrong with him. He's got these horrible stomach cramps and pains, and they can't find anything wrong with him. They don't know what it is. And I told him it's the stress your wife's putting on you. That's what it is. So anyway, all right. So that's part of what's going to go on. So let's get back on my. Let's look at the Carbon ZT-28 here, and let me show you what I've done. So we're not finished, but we're very close now. So here's the bottom of the wing. Okay, I'm gonna tilt it up for you so you can see it. Let me go back to because I can't see instantly what I'm doing. Okay, so if you look here, right by my face here, you can see some pink and yellow So that sanded out. There's still a lot of little booger pock marks I got to fill. But we're 90% there. That wings it would fly right now, no problem. The little pock marks and the other little imperfections that are still in the wing would not prevent it from flying. It would fly fine, and it would actually, if I just painted it yellow, it would look really good too. But I'm going to make it look perfect. So I got a little more work to do. Here's the front, the top of the wing. It's okay. So now I know what it looks like. It looks like that's a bump, but this is all that transition from the pink to the yellow is all smooth and absolutely smooth. Okay, I've been block sanding it out, and it's perfectly smooth. The problem now is um, there's still some more little pop marks I gotta repair. Oh, and then the wingtip. So the other wingtip, I already did this wingtip, um, and that's not finished either. But it's pretty much done. There's the red putty here. Yeah, it needs a little more. There's some more pock marks here too, so we have to finish that up. But that came out really good too. And then there's a bunch of little, where the grass stabbed the wing, and there's little pokey holes here. I got to fill all those in. And that's later. I'm just getting the big stuff right now. And then I just did the other wingtip. I Gorilla Glued it, and you'll see it on the video when I post the video. But there was a little bit. There was a ball on here like this because I put a piece of tape under here, and then I did the Gorilla Glue, and since it just didn't drip off the bottom, it laid on the tape and then came out. So there was a huge piece of foam here, and I think all the chunks I cut off of it are out of reach at the moment. But I sliced and sliced and sliced the foam down to a reasonable. We're nowhere near done, but I won't have to add another layer of Gorilla Glue. This one fixed in one layer. Um, I'm just going to have to do some of the red putty to fill in the pock marks, but we got plenty of this already sanded into a wingtip, and there you can see right there's a little bit of a raised area there. I haven't finished it, but I whittled it all down and took off big chunks of foam. But they're all on the floor over there. I can't get to them. But I whittled off a ton of foam to get it down to this level, and then start sanding it. So I still have I got to steam this dent out. There's a dent right here that I want to steam out and just glue it. I don't want to fill this with foam with Gorilla Glue. I'm just going to do a regular repair here. And then there's the same thing on this side. Not too bad, but out here on the end, there's some, where the grass poked holes. So there's some pokey holes here I got to fill. So we're almost ready to paint this, And like I said, I'm going to just do a quick yellow paint scheme. I'm going to tape off panel lines and then paint it just to do it. But this plane's going to get a full repaint, a different color. That was always the plan with this plane. So I'm going to show you. You'll be able to see this on camera. Okay. So you see this white area here? I got this plane dirt cheap because in the box, a fork truck hit the wing and took this edge of the wing and pushed it all the way back to here. All right, this was collapsed, just crushed from a fork truck hitting it. Okay, and same thing back here. on the back of the wing, which you can't see right now, but there was damage there too on the flap. And then the fuselage had some damage on it too, some crush marks. So this one was damaged in the box, and they declared that when they sold it. And I think this is this is a bind and fly version, and I believe I want to say I only paid like $320 for it. It's a $600 airplane, but because of all the damage, and I got this fixed pretty well, but it's not perfect. And since the second crash now, the wing is these plastic straps that hold the wings together have been elongated, so that it's not holding the wing together. So I'll probably fix that with Gorilla Glue to tighten that up so it'll hold these wings together. But there's still a gap here. Okay, so I have to do some more steaming and pulling to get this to match up here. So there's that was repaired. That's repaired. It came with it when I bought it. That's not part of what I did. It was I bought it that way. So there was repairs that needed done on this plane when I bought it, and I was okay with it. I repaired it. I never painted that area because I wasn't finished fixing it, and I figured once I finished fixing it, I'd paint it. Well, now I've got a lot more damage to do to it, to fix. So when I get all the damage fixed now, I'm still going to paint it yellow just as a test rig paint, and then I'll just to show you guys the finished product as it is, and then I'm going to change the scheme completely. It's going to be a camouflage paint scheme. I have to find it online. I haven't found it yet. I haven't really looked hard for it. I did a little looking, but Brian Scholes, if you haven't watched his video, go watch it. He was an SR-71 pilot, and he crashed in Vietnam. In the story he tells, which he tells it's very funny. He crashed a jet. Well, he didn't crash a jet, but that's what he uses in the story, because he was flying jets, and when he went back after his 2 years in the hospital, he went back to flying jets, and then he got to fly the SR-71. So, but he was flying a T-28 in Vietnam and got shot down, and he couldn't bail. The canopy wouldn't open. He couldn't bail out. He thought when he hit the ground, it was going to be a quick death. He'd feel no pain. That the plane would explode and he'd be dead instantly. That didn't happen. He was trapped in the cockpit and he was on fire. So he finally just died about 2 years ago, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. But he was burnt all over his body, and they kept repairing him. Every year he got better looking. His face was all burnt and stuff, but every year they would make him look better. They kept doing more skin grafts, some new technologies, and he was getting to look really good. One of his hands, I think 2 of the fingers didn't bend anymore, and just there were a lot of things wrong with him. So when he recovered from the main, spent 2 years in a hospital doing pressure cell therapy, where they put you in a pressure chamber to give you 100% oxygen and things like that, and to help heal the wounds. So he got out of there, and they sent a car for him at the hospital. And he got in the car, and they took him to headquarters, and they didn't know what to do with him. And he says, well, I can still fly, So the flight surgeon gave him a look over, and he says, yeah, you're perfectly healthy. You look like hell, but you're perfectly healthy. He says, there's no way. So he gave him his flight status back. He went back to flying, jets. And then he decided he wanted to fly the SR-71. So he went to his commander and said, I want to try out for the SR-71 program, and they warned you. Apparently, I don't know. I think he probably was exaggerating for the story, but he says that if you go for that and you fail it, because it's a very intense test, that you lose your full flight status. You don't get to go back to your old flight status and return to duty at that. You're out of flying. If you go for the SR-71 and you don't make it, now I find that hard to believe. I can't believe that, but that's what he says. So anyway, but he made it. He passed all the exams, all the physicals, and so he flew SR-71s until they decommissioned the plane. And then he tells these stories. Apparently, even the speed check story, if you haven't heard that one, about everybody's the baddest. Everybody's got to call Central to get their speed on the ground check. And anyway, I'm not going to tell the whole story because it's too funny. But look up Brian Scholes from. I think they call them sled drivers. So if you type in sled driver Brian, you don't even have to spell his last name. Just type in the search on YouTube, sled driver Brian, you'll get it. And he's wearing a red, white, and blue flag shirt. He's done several videos over the years, and they keep getting better. So the very last one he did with his backseater together. Don't watch that one. That one's not that great. The one before that's the one you want to watch. The second to last one he did, and it's hilarious. It's really good. Greg, I don't know what you're asking me. Have I done any mods to the rec tracks? Rec. I don't know what that is. What's a Rex Trax? Is that a typo, or am I just not getting it? Am I not reading it right? What am I missing here? I'm drawing a blank here. I don't know what that means. The gear. Okay, the gear on what? The retracts. Okay, I guess I can figure that. Okay. Yeah, you've got an extra letter in. Okay, so landing gear on the T-28. You're talking about my other one where the one gear failed. Yeah, I did replace the gear on that. This one, the retracts are fine. There's nothing wrong with these. The brand new one I got, that on the main flight, the one gear didn't go up. And then when I got it here, it did go up, but it was chattering. And so I replaced it. Yeah, I replaced that gear. It's got a new main on the right side. As a matter of fact, here's the door for it right here. I didn't put this back on yet. I forgot to put it on. But this is the cover gear door that goes on the retract, that has the little wire hooked from this eyelet right here to the eyelet on the gear that pulls this closed when the gear goes up. So yeah, so I did replace that bad retract, and then but I just didn't put this back on. So, and I didn't take that to the fly-in because I wanted to, but then I decided, well, this isn't really a night flyer. It does have lights. I could fly it till dusk, but my giant Flex Otter is a night flyer, fully lit, and I can't put both of them in the plane. Well, I could if I took the wings off, but I can't put both of them on the bed in the trailer, so I decided to take the Twin Otter and leave this one home. The other Carbon Z. So I didn't take it to the fourth. I took the Otter, but I did have it ready to go. I mean, I did switch the gear out, and then I remembered, after I did that, and I was sitting there looking at it, checking it, ran the gear up and down a bunch of times, and I was like, okay, cool, this is ready to go. We're good. And then I realized, oh wait, I've got a night flyer I could take that would be better for a night event. I should take the Otter, not this. So that's what I did. Yeah, well, they've updated the gear in the Carbon Z. There's all new gear in it. Um, so I was surprised that this one failed the way it did because this is the new and improved gear. Um, but it looks like they changed it again. The new and improved gear was actually they were just using FMS's gear because it's the exact same size gear, um, and that's what I put in it. I took the FMS landing gear. Forget what plane that's for. Oh, the Mustang. The 1700 Mustang uses the exact same main gear as the Carbon ZT-28. That's what it was for. So I used that to replace the gear that was bad in the Carbon Z. And they had sent me, Horizon sent me two brand new gear. When I called them and told them I was having a problem with the landing gear on one of the other ones I had bought, not this one. They sent me brand new replacement gear. They said, yeah, we know here. We've got new and improved ones. Take these and you'll be fine. And they looked like FMS gear to me. They were solid, no holes in them. And when I took the gear out of this one, it's got back to having open ends on the sides. It's still the same size and shape and everything, but now it's not solid plastic like the FMS one is. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know what they've done with the gear. I know they improved it and replaced it, but it looks like they may have just save a couple pennies, went back into production making their own again instead of just buying FMSs. And yeah, no, not the nose gear, because there is no nose gear in a P-51, but the two mains, it's the exact same retract for the main on the 1700 Mustang as the T-28. So that and I knew they were the same because I've got both planes, and I've had spare retracts for the FMS plane before. So because I have two of the 1700 Mustangs, and I had a couple of extra spare gear laying around, and then Horizon sent me two new replacement ones, which I have put my hands on 50 frickin' times over the years. But do you think I could put my hands on it right this minute? No. So, you know, so yeah, the exact same gear that's in the FMS the FMS 1700 Mustang is the exact same gear, size wise and everything, as the Carbon ZT-28 gear. They're exactly the same main gear, just the mains. There is no nose gear in a Mustang, obviously. So, but I'm having a problem with the nose gear on the Carbon Z. It was the mains that I had a problem with. The nose gear I've never had a problem with. Um, so I'm just still using the original one that came with it because that one works. Um, I don't know if I think that might be. Yeah, I actually think that is the same thing. Of course, the trunnion's different because it's got a steerable nose wheel, so you'd have to change the trunnion to make it work. But yeah, I think that's the exact same gear also, as a matter of fact, the nose gear and the T-28, but the trunnion's different. So you'd literally have to split the case of the retract apart to swap out the trunnion so that you can put a steerable, strut in it. But yeah, it'll work. Yeah. But I haven't had a problem with the nose gears on these planes, so it's always been a main that's failed. So I don't know if they're using a different. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're using there. All right. So what else is going on? Let's see. So I've done several Pontiac 3D prints of my G8. Um, three to be exact, and they're all different sizes. So I think I did this one first, and this one's I forget how big this one is. This one's it might be 300, but I don't think it is. I think it's smaller than that. But I printed this out of PETG so that it would withstand the heat out in the sun. So this one came out really nice. This one looks good. And the problem with this one's it was standing up. So yeah, this is 300. And so the back panel doesn't look super good. It's pretty pretty rough looking. Um, but not too bad. I mean, it'll clean up. I can sand it and paint it, and it'll clean up. So, but I decided to try something else. So then I printed this one, which I've shown you these two before, I think. And so this one was printed the same. Well, this was printed in that transparent blue. I'll show you what that. It was printed with this filament. So you see how you can see inside this. You can see the inner structure, that the cross hatching and the infill support inside, because you can see through this. Trying to get a good angle where you can really see. Yeah, it's hard for you to see it here, but well, there you go on the door. You see it. You see in the door where it's got an angle going from the door handle down to the bottom of the fender, and then there's another one going the other way from the mirror. That's all. That's the cubic infill, which is basically making triangles at an angle. And as they each intersect, the three sides intersect, they make a complete singular cell, a lot of closed in cell. Each time it finishes into the next one, as it's printing this, it closes each one off. So they're all individual cells. So it's it prints very quick. It uses less filament, and it's very strong. So this filament is what I printed this one out of. And then I painted it with some dark blue paint, metallic paint, because then I was going to paint it with and I'm nowhere near done painting it, but I was going to paint it with, I've got that candy blue effect that'll make it, look candy apple. And I thought this might lighten up, but I don't think it will. So I don't think that's going to work out. So I think I'm going to end up painting this probably chrome. like the 300 that I printed, and then put the candy blue over it and just keep laying coats on it until I get the depth of blue color I want. So I'm not sure, but so this one's a little bigger than the gray one, and now this one's even bigger than this one. So not a lot bigger, but it's bigger. And I guess if I'll put the two sides together like this. Okay, so now you can see this one's that much wider. It's about a good quarter of an inch wider. So it's longer, it's wider, it's proportionally. So this one's even bigger. Yeah, and the reason I got this one to be even bigger was I printed it, which was a lot of waste, but I was just trying a theory. So if you look at this one, and then right at the top of the hood or the roof, you can see that roundish, almost looks like the racetrack at Daytona at the top of the thing. Well, I printed this one at an angle on the printer. I put it on the bed like this because I wanted that angle to show up on the window. So instead of being in the middle of the roof now, it's back here on the back window because I thought it would be easier to smooth it out. And at the same time, I kept the integrity of the nose. All that looks really good. Oh, you can really see the infill in this. It's inside there. All those diagonal lines, V down on the bumper cover. That's all inside. It's so, just because this is transparent, and then it kept the integrity of the back of the car too. So we've got a nice smooth back with the tail lights and the cutout for even the diffuser underneath came out really good. So the only thing it messed up, which I don't care, is the bottom. I used some Gorilla Glue to fill in. And there's still one more piece I got to do. The corner of the edge right there of the ground effect there. I got to finish fixing that. But other than that, I haven't printed wheels for this one yet because they're bigger than these even. So these wheels won't fit. So I got to print bigger wheels now for this. But yeah, just screwing around, trying some different techniques to try to get better results. I'm not sure that I think it came out better, but until I paint it, it's hard to tell. Because, like I say, when you're looking through this and you see all the infill inside, all the structure, it makes it really hard to tell what you're looking at. I know you can't see that because if I could backlight it, I wish I had a flashlight handy that I could backlight and show you. Then you'd see what I'm talking about. It's crazy what it looks like when you see through it. And what I'm looking at right now, oh, here's a flashlight. Perfect. Let's see if this works. I think this might work. Yeah. Okay, so now you can see what the inner structure looks like. All these crosshatches, boxes, and underneath the bottom there. So that makes it really hard to tell what you're looking at. When you're trying to figure out where it's smooth and where it's not, because you can see all that when you're just looking at it. I know it's not showing up on camera because it is now, but right now it's not because it's front lit. But that front lighting that's shining on it so you can see it real good is what I can see right through it. There's the light's shining through it, and I can see all the. But now when I flashlight the back the other way, now you can see what I see. All that inner structure. that is what's, you know, and you have to, you know, I open that way up. You don't, the reason you need that is when it comes to, you know, the sides and everything are fine. You don't need it for that. But when it starts to print the top, if there's nothing for the filament to lay on, okay, when it's going, you know, when it's going across, it sags. And then you get a, you know, like when this one was printed, not this one, this one. So when this one was printed standing on end like this, okay, everything printed perfect. You know, there's no infill inside this. This is completely hollow. Okay, so the the roof, the hood is nice and smooth. You know, there's no defects. The roof looks really good. You can see the sunroof. Yeah, I know there's those lines are in it, but those are just part of the file. The way the guy designed it. The trunk lid's nice and good and everything. But what's horrible is because it was standing straight up like this, and there's no infill in it. It couldn't print the grill. All right, because there was nothing for the filament to lay on in there. So it's just falling away and drooping out. And so the whole front of the car looks horrible, you know, because the, you know, this is the exact same car, same, you know, and look at the detail on the grill. I mean, that came out beautiful. All right. And this one was printed laid flat on the table with the wheels already on it. But that's how little infill I had in it. And that's all it needed, you know, to print that perfect. You know, everything looks perfect, you know, and it's barely any infill, you know. And but yeah, if you don't have something in there, the top surface, which would be, since this was printed in this direction, is the grill and the bumper, and that's what you get. You get a mess. So so that's how that works. Have you actually put the T-33 nose gear in one, Craig, or are you just assuming that it fits? I have a feeling that's they're not the same. Because I haven't found anything that Freewing uses that fits anything else I have. Their stuff's always different. Looks two tone. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's you're right, and you know you're right too. If you're going to have to repair something, repairing the back of the car is definitely better because, like I was just saying before, if you're displaying this in a cabinet, you're either displaying it straight on or at a 45 or a profile. You're never doing a back end, you know, or back 45 display. So the back of the car is really not that important. So if you had to do a lot of repair work, now if you look at the detail, there's even a Pontiac emblem in there. Let me right there on the trunk lid at the top there, right under the spoiler. There's a Pontiac logo right there. So, and I think yeah, there's one on the grill too, on the bumper, right in the middle between the grills. There's a Pontiac logo there. So if you want to get creative painting when you're finishing this up, there's actually a logo there you can paint. So the detail on these are pretty good. It depends on who makes. You know, there's a million different people out there making these files, and some people are going the trouble of making them really, really good, and some of them are like, meh, whatever. You know. So Yeah, when I was sanding out this wing, Eric, I was thinking of you. Because I know this is what you do all day. And I was like, yeah, this is what Eric does. I'm sitting here building, fine tuning a body panel on an airplane. All right, so let's see. What else was I going to talk about tonight? I think I am going to try to. I'm going to take that printer apart real quick. It's only going to take a minute. I'm going to see what's wrong. This filament really, this brand here, whatever this is, this Next Shapes is just no good. I bought 4 different rolls of filament at the same time, all PET G, but all different brands. And the roll I've got on the printer right now is this one here, and this might be Creality. Hang on a minute. Let me look here. Yeah. Yeah, this is Creality PET G. So I've got a roll of white. I'm loaded on the printer now. Took the green off. I'm going to try loading a white roll and see if it'll print better because I don't like the way that's printing. I don't think it's working too good. So this is Creality filament. I got a black roll and a white roll in a combo pack that was really cheap. And then this other one, I forget what color this is. What did I buy here? Oh, I think it's the blue. Yeah. So I was trying to get another transparent blue to match my old transparent blue that you see behind me. Basically, the um, trying to get out of the way so I can show it to you. I think if I go this way, the blue one, it's right here in front of the Mach 5. The little Mach 5 is right in front of it. That darker blue is, I know you can't tell from here, but that is just a beautiful blue. So I ordered another. That company went out of business though. That was a Nova. The brand on that one was Nova, and I tried to reorder it, and they're gone. So the next closest thing I could get was this. Um, and I've already used this filament before, so this filament works pretty good. It's spelled backwards. I think it's Rojohce, written backwards. So something like Rojoho, something like that. I don't know. But I've used this before. So I ordered that blue, but this is closer to purple, which might look pretty good actually, but it's not that blue though. I was trying to get that blue, and I can't get it. But this is going to be transparent purple, and we'll see what that looks like. We'll try printing something with that. Probably another vase. Vases, the transparent things, vases come out really good. There's no infill in a vase because you got to put flowers in it and water or whatever. So they tend to look like I've got that same vase a little smaller over there, and that one looks like a piece of glass. Literally, when you look at it, you'd swear it was glass until you hold it and it weighs nothing. Then you know it's not glass, but it sure looks like glass. It's gorgeous. God, it's a beautiful. Um, Jeff in Lower Alabama, what's up? How you doing, man? Hey, Eric, do you do mostly like fiberglass work? Are you doing a lot of fiberglass work? I'm assuming that these big rigs you work on have fiberglass noses and stuff. So do you do a lot of fiberglass work? What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Good to see you. The Bind and Fly Texan comes with a single antenna receiver. Do I trust it? Um, I don't know. That's how long's the antenna? Is it one of those really stubby little short thing, or is it fairly long? I'm getting a notification from YouTube that my audio stream current bit rate is too low. It's long. Okay, I haven't had any problem. I've had those receivers and I haven't any problem with them. I've got few planes with that receiver in it. So yeah, I think I trust it. I mean, wouldn't go on a highest altitude or longest flight kind of thing, longest distance flight kind of thing. But yeah, I think I trust it. It's that little stubby one I haven't had luck with. But the long antenna one, I've got several planes with that antenna and that receiver in it, and it's been fine. I haven't had any failures. Uh, wow. Oh, my ice melted almost. Yeah, it's Florida. It's hot out here. Oh, so you're pretty much the painter now? You're not doing any more body work? Oh, well, good for you. That's a much cleaner job. That's cool. Good for you. Angels used to fly a Texan? Yeah, I know they were using the Texan for like on Baba Black Sheep. They were using Texans to simulate zeros in the show, but yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know the Blue Angels ever flew a Texan. Are you? Are you going to make it an adversary for your the Bearcat? Was it the Bearcat that the Blue Angels flew? So you're going to make your Texan look like a zero? you don't like the meatballs, huh? So you what did you buy one of the new ones? It's the red and yellow scheme, the new Texan. Yeah, I like that plane. I'm hoping this Christmas it goes on sale. I'll probably buy it if they put it on sale. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know what's going on with my nose tonight. Wow. Hmm. All right, guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna take a minute. Then it's gonna be more in a minute because I'm gonna move a car. I've got four cars and the lawnmower in the garage right now, doing a little test fit. So I got a car on the lift. I got a car under the lift. I got the mower parked behind the lift, and then I brought another car in behind the mower, and it almost fit. I think if I turned the mower sideways, it would fit, and I could get uh, those four cars in that spot because the Impala is next to the lift. Um, and then there's room for two more cars in front of the lift, but that's where all the airplanes are sitting right now because they're not in here. So all the airplanes are over there. But there's room for two more cars there, and then there's room for three more cars under the upstairs of the living room. So and then there's room for one or two more cars on the other side of the lift that's being occupied by the motorcycles right now. But I planned on moving that. So I should be able to get um, 10, 10, maybe 11 cars in here when I get everything organized. That was the plan, you know, to get 10 or 11 cars in here. So, oh, it's 20% off right now, or it was. All right, yeah, Eric. All right, buddy. You have a good night, man. We'll see you later. All right, let me check that real quick before I go pee. Look in the scratch and dent section of Tower. Just a couple of great deals. The extra 330 that Horizon came out with recently, it's the same paint scheme as that giant scale plane I have. Um, they've got the fuselage on sale from 179 for 89 bucks. That's crazy. If you need a replacement fuselage, that's a great buy. And then the wings are normally 41.90. Well, they only have the right wing, it looks like. Um, it's normally 41.99. It's on sale for 19.99. So both of those are really good price. They had the Arma Fury truck on sale. They're all sold out. Um, I think these were the brushless versions that were more money. I bought one of those trucks, but mine's the brushed because I didn't, I don't care about going that fast. More speed just means more breakage. I don't want to break it right now. I don't have money to fix broken toys. So I'm not. I don't want to do that. So I bought the slow one on purpose. It's not that slow, honestly, but it's not as fast as the brushless one. But that was deliberate so that I wouldn't run into a tree and break it. Then I'd have to pay to fix it. So I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go move a car, go to the bathroom, and then I'll be back. So talk amongst yourselves, but don't go away. I'll be back, and we'll think of something else to talk about. I'm sure I can come up with something. So all right. So I'll see you in a minute. Back. That took a little longer than I expected, but anyway. Uh, well, it wasn't a big one, but yeah, I did. I took a little one, but I had to move a car, and then I had to get the cat that was on the car, and he's not supposed to be on the car. After I moved the car out of the garage, and so hey, I think that's a record, though. I think that's the most cars I've had in here at once is four cars and the lawnmower and three motorcycles. So yeah, it's we're getting there. We're getting there. What's up, Juno? What's going on? How you doing, man? All right, let me go. I'm gonna pull this extruder out of this. So I'll keep talking to you while I'm working. I'm just gonna be right next to the camera here, but I'm only gonna be here a minute. This doesn't take long at all. It's pretty simple. I've done this so many times, got it down to a science. So it only takes a minute. Let's take this back out and see what's going on here. I don't know why. There must be a piece of filament stuck in it. Right, where are you at? Right there. There's only three screws that hold this in. And then when you take it out, the motor's got two screws holding the motor to the extruder. And I just take the motor, unbolt the motor, and let it hang in the machine because that's never the problem. And it's so much more work to just to unplug the motor. It's easier just to leave the motor hanging there and just to unbolt it from the extruder and then leave it behind. It's much easier. So one more screw. Oh, there. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't even need to take that apart. Hang on a minute. I can see the problem. Okay, let me see if I can get that out of there. Let's try this. So there's a piece of filament stuck in the nozzle, So I'm going to heat the nozzle up and see if it'll let me pull it out. So it doesn't take long for that nozzle to heat up. I can tell you that. That thing heats up fast. Do you see a new vase? I don't know. What vase are we looking at that you think's new? Give me a location and a color, Michael, and I'll tell you if it's new or not. I don't think there's a new one up there, but oh, that's not good. That's not good. Well, that won't come out. Hmm. It's fucked. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. That ain't gonna fix. Wow. That is not good. Not good. Let me look at this real quick. Wow. I got it. I got it. Holy shit. Will that fit down in there now? It does. All right. We're back in business, boys. We are back in business. Holy crapo. Wow, that was lucky. Good job. All right. This will only take a second to put back together. We should be able to print something. All right. Kind of want to try out this white filament to see if it's going to print me better. I think I'm going to print. I think I'll try print a wheel. We'll see how that comes out. I need wheels for the new one anyway. I know they're going to be too small, but I don't think they're going to be way too small. All right. Last screw. All right. Snug that one up. Put the little covering. All right. Let's let's extrude a little filament. See what the hell happens here. Nope, not there. 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 Extrude. All right. All right, went all the way down to the hot end. Perfect. Okay. All right, we should have some filament pouring out of there here in a second. That'll be a thing. Something. Ah, there it is. Got filament. Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, so I printed this. One of my buddies I go to the car show with on Tuesdays has a Challenger this color. And that's why I printed this. I wanted to print him one, but it just didn't come out very good. So I'm not at all. I wouldn't give him this because this looks terrible. So I'm gonna print. I'm gonna try it with this other filament now out of white, and then I'll paint it green. Because I just bought some fluorescent glow in the dark paint, and there's a green in there that's about this color. So I think I can paint it that color green, and that'll probably look pretty good. We'll find out. Okay, so that worked. We got filament. All right, let's load something. Let's load something and print it. Put the top on. And how about a wheel? Where are the wheels at? All right, we're set to print. Let's see what happens. It's going to print 3 wheels. So we'll try that and see what happens. Just for shits and giggles. All right. Now the printer's running. Can you hear it? Do you hear anything at all? It's behind the mic, so you might not even be able to hear it. The fan just kicked on, revved up, and watching Arg and Sue. Sue? I have no idea what that is. Hey, Jeff. I'm actually watching a teen band like that. They're called Dart something, Dartmouth or I forget. They're really good. They're really good. They sounded like "Help Me Rhonda." They did a "Help Me Rhonda" song. It sounded just like the original. That's funny. You're watching these guys too. I'm watching another band just like them. You know, young kids, high school good guys. I'm looking to see if they're on the list here. Since you brought them up, I yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have to give them a watch too and see how they are. Yeah, they're not showing me my guys. Let me do a search. Yeah, they're called the Low Darts. Jeff, have you watched them? The Low Darts. It's just like the group you're watching. It's a bunch of young kids, like high school. Really good, really good. They're uh, they're doing Journey and um, I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, check them out. I think you'll like them. Just like the one you just gave me a link to. Yeah, it's called Low Darts. Not that's not a fancy spelling, just Low Darts. And you know, they did a great rendition of "Help Me, Rhonda." So, oh no, not "Help Me, Rhonda." Rosanna. Yeah, they did the song Rosanna, and they did a really good job of it. Here, I'll put a link. You know, let me do a link. There you go. Yeah, yeah, guys. If you want to, Rosanna. These guys did a great job. Young kids, really good. Yeah, I can't listen to your guys right now, Jeff, because I'm doing my show. But I'll definitely listen to it afterwards. I I love music. I really love music. Um, Copyright warning. What? You're not allowed to watch it? You're allowed to watch it. I don't know why you would get a copyright warning. Maybe my link is causing that. Just type in low dart band. Um, well, I think there's an S on it. Low darts, I think, is their official name. There's an S on it. So low darts. Yeah. But yeah, just type in low darts Rosanna and watch it. It's really good. They're really, really good. I've watched several of their remakes of stuff, and I think the Rosanna one's the best so far. Um, but they're really good. I really like them. That's funny that you and I are both listening to, teenage bands. We're brothers from a different mother. That's all. All right, so let me check my print here real quick. Just going to look and see that it's actually printing 3 wheels. It's printing something, so let's make sure it's the wheels. Yeah, yeah, it looks good. All right. So that'll take more than a minute, but not too long. I doubt it'll take 20 minutes to print those 3 wheels. Um, I'll be honest with you, I don't like crowds. I'm not a big fan of going to live music stuff. I love watching it on YouTube. I just don't like going to it. And I'll tell you why. It's not crowds. I love people. I don't like disrespectful people. Like people are smoking dope because they think everybody likes it. And I have to sit next to a guy that's, passing a doobie around to his friends, you know, and it's irritating. And they're not allowed to do it, but they do it anyway. And that's what irritates me. Stuff like that. Or they're talking the whole time, or they're on their phones watching, a ball game or something on their phone right next to you, while you're trying to listen to the music. Yeah, it's all these external aggravations that just piss me off. So I'd rather stay home and watch it on YouTube. Um, I love the music. I just don't like the live stuff. I don't like the bullshit that comes with it. Very aggravating. The only live concert I've ever gone to was Bruce Springsteen. That was back in probably 80, 81 maybe. It was at the Coliseum in Cleveland, Ohio. And, same thing, people smoking dope and just, an inside concert inside the Coliseum was, just ruined it for me. The concert was great, but all the crap going around next to me, around me, made it it's just not a very pleasant day for me. Now you tell the kids to turn that down. You hypocrite! How can you do that? How can you do what you did and then tell your kids no? That's not right. That's just not right. Yeah, that's probably why I've never gone to another concert because my first experience was so bad. Well, that's not true, man. I've been to other ones, but like at a fairground. But it's the same shit. I mean, they're doing it there too. Um, but I didn't pay to go into that one. That was part of going to the fair, live music at the fair kind of thing. So since I didn't pay for it, I wasn't as mad about it. But when I paid good money to go, sit in an assigned seat to enjoy a concert and then have to put up with all the crap around me. Just kind of ruined it for me. Wow, that's really amazing. This is the bottom of a Gorilla Glue bottle, and I used I pulled the Gorilla Glue out of it once it dried up, and I mixed some epoxy in it, and I just pulled the epoxy out. Nothing sticks to that bottle, you know. The epoxy came right out too, so that's kind of interesting. So now I can use it again to mix more glue. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, man? Nice thing you posted up, Chuck. I saw on Facebook. I think I responded to it. I don't remember now, but I saw you post up something. What was the last thing you posted up? I forget now. Did Michael Bear ever tell me what bass was new? Did he ever say? I need to go back and look. Uh, More T-28 sand. Yeah, we can do some sanding if you want. I can sand the hell out of that wingtip. Chuck, the truck I won from you, Chuck's on the shelf behind me. Oh, you can't see it. I have to move something. It's right here. See the Iron Man helmet here? Let me move these. Ta-da! There it is, right there. I don't know why those were blocking it. They shouldn't have been there. There it is. Okay. Okay, let's see. How's that? It is 11:30. Okay. I know how much you guys like me balancing props, but the other day I had to balance the balancer. So let me tell you how I did that. So I knew the shaft was bent slightly. It came that way. It was very minor. But that'll throw your balance off, because it's always gonna the center of the when you get the balance, the prop really, really close, then off the bent shaft is going to always go to the bent lows. So once you get the prop, that's why I always loosen the prop and move it 25 degrees or 50 degrees or something, and then tighten it back up again and balance it again to see if it's actually balanced. So I did some testing with this and I found out where the bend was. So I chucked it up in my drill right at the bend and spun it. And of course, the tip is, going like this, because it's not straight. Very minor, but so I could, I knew this end was straight before the bend, where the bend was. I could see where the bend was. So I chucked it up and then I just kept, I'd spin it, stop it, tap it, spin it, stop it, tap it, and I got it perfectly straight now. This shaft is straight, absolutely straight. And And then I went back over a couple of props to see, and nothing bad enough to change, but I wanted to balance. I fixed the propeller on my big, my 12 cell pattern plane. It's an extra 330. I think it's from 3D Hobbies. I was thinking that's who it's from, but the prop was broken when I got it, and he was flying it broke, and I flew it broke, but I decided I wanted to fix it. It had a split down one of the blades about maybe 2 inches. So I mixed up some epoxy and I put it in there and wicked it down into the crack and then put the crack back together. And then I smoothed out the epoxy, and then I went to the other blade on the other side and I just coated the outside of the tip. The tip was yellow, and I just coated the whole yellow part of the tip with epoxy to offset the weight of the repair on the other tip. And then after it dried, I wanted to balance it. So that's why I took the time to really balance the balancer to make sure we really got a good balance. And it worked out perfect. Yeah, the prop was absolutely silent when I flew it for the fourth, and everything was perfect. The only thing I got to do now is I want to make it pretty. I didn't have time to make it pretty, so what I'm going to do now is wet sand it smooth and then put hey, that's odd. What's going on there? Huh. Step it here. So yeah, so I just have to put do some sanding and repaint the tips to cover up the repair, and it'll be fine. It flew fine. Didn't make any sound. No cavitating. Nothing. It was beautiful. Sounded great. So that was a good repair. And so I figured you might want to know about something I balanced, since you guys like my balancing so much. About this wheel file I'm printing is because it actually prints the tread in the tires, which I think looks fantastic. These other wheels I printed are just smooth, and they really look crappy if if you really look at them. But um, like this orange car, for instance, yeah. See, the wheels don't have any tread on. Oops, messed up. See the wheel? It's just there's no tread on that. But these wheels have real tread, like a real tire. Look at that. I think that's awesome. I mean, that really looks like a tire. It's pretty cool. So I bought black filament for that very reason, the PET G filament, so I could print. I already printed some black ones, but they're in well, I had printed them in black and they melted. They were printed PLA, and PLA can't take the heat. So I left the car, the toy car, the printed car in my car, and it got so hot that all four tires went flat. The wheels melted. And so I bought some PET G black, um, so I could print them again in black, and they'll look perfect then. So yeah, it's the baseball card and the spoke trick. Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's getting real close to start printing the actual wheel. We've been doing the shaft, the axle, and the. I can show you what I'm talking about here. So it's printing right now. It's printing in this configuration. All right. So it's doing a bunch of support, and then it's printing the shaft. Okay, and then once it gets to the tire, since the support is all already there, it'll start printing the tire on top of the support, and continue the axle all the way up to do the brake rotor, and then the wheel. And even the rotor's pretty detailed here. This is if you look closely in there, there's actually a caliper. I got it at the top right now. I'll rotate it around, but yeah, there's a brake rotor in there, and there's a caliper on the top. And if you want to, if you want to paint that stuff to make it, look real, you can. But this is one of the best overall wheels. And I like the 5-spoke, but I really don't want to put it on every car. So I got to find another file. I would like to print one. Actually, a wheel that looks just like this. This is a wheel on a radio control, but that 5-spoke, double spoke wheel like that. I have a file to print that, but it keeps failing every time I print it. So I got to find a better one. But it's a wheel similar to that. And I wish it would print because it's beautiful. But it just won't print. The other thing I like about the axles being separate like that, where you can remove the wheel and stuff, you can also change the offset. If you're one of those that likes the wheels pushed all the way out to the fender, like that, you can do that. If that's the look you want. But I can also push it all the way in, where it's completely under the fender now, right? That's too far. But you can adjust the wheels where you want them. And that's the only way. When you print the car with the wheels already attached, like this one here, you don't have that choice. The wheels are where they are. You can't move them. They don't roll. You can't change what wheel you put on it. This was printed all as one piece. It gives you that option. You can print the car with the wheels already on it in this position, or you can print the body separate from the wheels. And I prefer to do the wheels separate so that I can adjust where they sit on the car. You get the right look on them. You start painting these cars, get them ready. Are you guys, Jeff? Are you watching a soccer game? Is that what the AG3 SWI1? Is that what that is? Are you watching a soccer game and that's a score? I'm guessing Argentina's playing Switzerland. I don't know. It's not that I don't like soccer. I just don't follow it. But I'm guessing that's what that is. Yes, just over. So was I right? Was it Argentina and Switzerland? Just took a guess. I don't know. All right, so they're printing the tires now. That's what's going on now. So it's starting to print the tires. So I'd say we probably have another 15 minutes, maybe, till the tires are done. It's bent again. Just barely, but I think just crimping those nuts down and bending the shaft. I think that's what's happening here. I think I'm over tightening it, and the pull is actually bending the shaft. It's very, very minor, but still, it's going to affect the balance. I don't know why it's going so slow printing these wheels, but once it got to the tires, it's just going super slow. I don't know what the hell that's about. That's weird. Oh, guys, I guess I'm going to call it. We're down to 4 people, 5 people. Everybody's getting tired, I guess. We're not chatting much, so I guess we'll call it a night. Thanks for coming. It's great to see you. I hope you enjoyed the fireworks last week. You got to see most of them. They never announced anything, so I don't. Thank you, Juno. They never announced when they were going to start, so I was in the middle of loading loading up my trailer when they started the fireworks. So I had to stop what I was doing to go over there and record, and just it was a good time, but it wasn't one of our best events. We've had better events in the past. Um, it just there was no pre-prep at all, which really disturbed me. I don't know what the hell happened different this year. Well, I guess I do know what happened. Let me rephrase that again. I don't know for sure what happened, but I heard that Bo put his daughter's husband, in charge of the setup this year, and he didn't know he's never been to this before. He didn't know what was going on. He had no idea how to set this thing up, how to coordinate anything. So I guess that's why it went off so bad, because he didn't know how to coordinate it. So anyway, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but something was different, that's for sure. So, all right, guys, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys. I'm going to call it. We'll see you guys later. And uh, I might have some videos to post up on different stuff, so stay tuned. All right, guys. All right. So have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.